Brittney Yvette Griner was born October 18, 1990, making her 32 years old. She is an American professional basketball player for the Phoenix Mercury, and they're part of the WNBA. She also played basketball in college for the Baylor Lady Bears in Waco, Texas. She is the only NCAA basketball player to ever both score 2,000 points and block 500 shots. In 2012, she was named the AP Player of the Year and the Most Outstanding Player of the Final Four, where she helped Baylor to win the national championship. So Brittney Griner, successful college basketball player, went on to do something that, not many women get a chance to do, and that's play professional basketball in the WNBA. And she was doing that. Earlier this year, back in February, she was detained by Russian customs officials after cartridges containing hashish oil were found in her luggage. She was later arrested on smuggling charges. She was in Russia in the first place because she was given permission to enter there just to play with the Russian Premier League during the WNBA offseason. So that was in February when she was charged with smuggling. Her trial began in July, where she did plead guilty, and in August, Russia sentenced her to 9 years in prison. Last month, she was sent to a Russian penal colony, and it was during this time where the United States started saying she was unlawfully detained, and they were trying to negotiate to get her out of prison, and they were successful in doing that. Yesterday, Brittney Griner was released from Russia and from prison in Russia. Take a listen to this, and I'll be back on the other end of the clip.
Brittney Griner is free after 294 days in Russian captivity. The last month spent in one of Russia's notoriously harsh penal colonies. Brittney was traded for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, who Vladimir Putin has been trying to get back and who had served 11 years of a 25-year sentence in the U.S. President Biden signed off on the trade, even though it meant leaving another American businessman, Paul Whelan, behind bars in Russia. Griner, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, has been detained in Russia since February when Russian officials found 2 vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage at a Moscow airport when she traveled to the country to rejoin her Russian pro basketball team. She was found guilty in August of trying to smuggle illegal narcotics into Russia and sentenced to 9 years in that penal colony. Griner says she did not intend to smuggle narcotics into Russia and that her doctor had recommended the use of cannabis to treat pain from injuries. In May, U.S. officials said that Ms. Griner was wrongfully detained, adding that they were working aggressively to bring her home. Brittney Griner is free as part of a prisoner swap. And Joe, of course, there will be a lot of questions about Paul Whelan and a lot of questions about the swap itself. But Brittney Griner is coming home.
So again, Brittney Griner was released from a Russian prison. She arrived in the U.S. early this morning. She landed at Kelly Field in San Antonio, Texas. Again, she's a WNBA star who was held for months in a Russian prison on drug charges and was released yesterday in a 1-for-1 prisoner swap for a notorious international arms dealer named Viktor Bout, bringing an end to an ordeal that, had already, tensions were already high between Washington and Moscow. And this just ends that ordeal of all those intense high level of negotiations. But, what I'm wondering is, was it a 1-for-1 swap? Brittney Griner for a notorious international arms dealer when Russia's in the middle of a war with the Ukraine? And there's so much going on right now in international politics. Was this a 1-for-1 swap when we still have high-level American still being held in Russia? And she's all we got. I'll let you guys decide.